Breakfast TV on the weekends. This is Weekend Live on SABC2. Many people I talk to have a story to tell about home affairs. It could represent long queues in your mind, perhaps corrupt practice, fake IDs, or you've woken up one day to find yourself married to someone you've never met. Said like that, one could very easily burst out laughing. And that has been my experience reading the fictional Home Affairs, winner of the Citizen Book Prize and authored by Bree O'Mara, who is our guest this morning. A very warm welcome, Bree. Congratulations on the award.
Lovely to be
here.
Where
were you when you heard?
I was at home when Jane phoned me, and I screamed very loudly. I think she's still recovering around about now.
Of course, this is a book that has very little to do with the Department of Home Affairs. It's a satirical look at a microcosm of our democratic society. What was your intention?
Indeed, precisely that. It was to represent, you know, I've lived in a lot of small villages all over the world, and the thing about small village life is it presents a microcosm of a country as a whole, its hopes, its fears, etc., etc. And South Africa has some rather unique hopes and fears, and it's all distilled in this. You're right, it doesn't have much to do with Home Affairs, the department, no.
You just see many Home Affairs officials going, what are you talking about now?
Yeah, but they are mentioned in there, so look out for it.
The trick with fictional satire, I'm sure you'll agree, is that it needs to sound realistic while it is being funny.
Sure.
How does one achieve that kind of authenticity?
Well, I think in this particular case, you know, all of the people that are in the book are stereotypes of people that exist in our society here. And they're people that you know, they're people that I know, they're people that everybody reading this book will go, oh, you know, I know somebody exactly like that. And it's just a case of observing people's behavior and speech patterns and things like that, or from my experience.
It's a book that deals very much with how we behave in the face of change, be it a place name change, change in leadership, changing the status quo.
Yes.
And there's an underlying commentary there. What exactly is it?
Well, it does deal with change. In fact, the whole thing that started it off was Jean-Baptiste Alphonse Carr. He said, plus ça change, plus ça même chose. The more things change, the more things stay the same. And that's very true in South Africa. When you say about the underlying commentary, yes, I suppose I am making an underlying commentary, but I'm presenting it hopefully from everybody's side, you know. I came back to South Africa having lived away for 15 years, and of course I came back to a completely new country and new road signs, new names for everything. It was a terrifying experience, you know, driving along thinking, where am I? I had the same thing today coming here, you know. So some of the commentary is to do with that, and some of the commentary is, you know, is it always necessary when there are... it's not an overtly political book, but from my point of view, no. Are some of the changes necessary when there are some really serious things that we need to address? You know, is changing a road name really pivotal at this time?
So you're saying, though, are you not perhaps saying then that even though we change all these things, things also could very possibly stay the same?
Yes, I think society anywhere, not just South Africa, is quite resistant to change. You know, even for all of our faults and our foibles, I think we quite like things going along the way we know. It's better the devil you know than the devil you don't, you know. So I think there are some instances, and certainly where I live, you know, people like things to stay exactly the way they are, you know.
We're beginning to see more books like this, poking fun at ourselves, poking fun at the people we live next door to, the idiosyncrasies that emerge. But it does take a keen eye, and you were talking about how you watch. Tell me about this keen eye of yours and just how closely you watch people, because you are particularly descriptive and you have a particularly keen eye for description and detail.
Well, thank you.
What's that all about?
Thank you, that's very kind. I think I like people watching, generally anyway, and I note idiosyncrasies. And as I say, one thing, when you come back to your home country, having lived outside of it for a while, you notice the idiosyncrasies, they're kind of highlighted for you in a way. And you notice people's peculiarities, if you like. And I live in a very small town in a rural area, and on a daily basis you could sit at the Wimpy and watch them all walking past you, you know, because they are stereotypes, and stereotypes exist in society, so I just watch them.
Small towns, even fictional ones like Hillman is in this book, do offer up these interesting people and these interesting townsfolk.
Very much so.
Would the story have been possible had it been set in the metropole, say Johannesburg, Pretoria?
Well, that's an interesting question. I'm working on my next book now, which is called Traditional Healing, and that is actually set in the metropolis of Durban. So I suppose the jury will be out until then. But I think those stereotypes are everywhere. It's just in a small environment, they're so much more distilled because there are fewer people and you notice it more, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, awards offer such encouragement. I'm glad to hear that you're writing another book. Can you give us a sort of tidbit as to what's that about? Is it about
Sure.
the Department of Labour?
No, but Manto's liver does appear in it. It's traditional healing with all that implies. So some of the characters from this book will reoccur. But just to go back to what you said, awards, you know, this particular award has been such a launch point for me, and I feel so blessed to have got it.
Has it changed your life? I mean, is this kind of the route you will be taking now?
I really hope so. You know, if I had a dime for every person who said, oh, I could write a book or I want to write a book, I'd say to them, then do it and enter this competition, because it's such a unique competition. The reading public get to choose, and obviously what the reading public at this particular time wanted was something funny. We're all so sick of the struggle and everything, you know, all the angst. So, yeah, do it. Enter.
Well, I must tell you something. You look a bit like Jodie Picoult. She sat in that chair, so maybe great things to come.
Thank you. Great compliments.
Pleasure
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Bree O'Mara is the author of Home Affairs, a book that feels authentically and unmistakably South African, and the winner of the inaugural Citizen Book Prize. If you've read the book, do share your views on it. Write to us, weekendlive@sabc.co.za. Our fax number 011 714 5193, as has become the norm on Weekend Live Music.